Hey everyone, Duval's Pools back here with another video. I'm coming to you from my car as usual. It's a rainy day. I'm trying to drive and stuff. But I'm gonna do my Sunday picks for NFL Week 2. There's some interesting matchups today, especially tonight's game. Obviously, my Pats are going to play a big one on the West Coast. Northwest Coast. But yeah, we'll start off with the picks today, and I'm going to pick the first game on the slate is going to be the New York Giants at the Chicago Bears. I got Barkley in my fantasy lineup, and he absolutely sucked last week. I debated whether I wanted to play him again today because Chicago has a great front. But I don't know what's going. Chicago survived that game because they were losing and they came back to win. So is Chicago were they just rusty, or was Detroit that good, and then or were they just playing that soft on defense at the end? Because Detroit should have won that game. Swift dropped the ball. They would have won the game, and then the Bears and Giants would have both been 0-1 in this game. But I'm going to go with the Bears in this one. I'm thinking that they're going to win. The defense is too much. It could be a close game, but I'll just pick the Bears to go 2-0 and the Giants to go 0-2. And not a great start for Daniel Jones' 2020 campaign, but yeah, I'm going to pick them to go to Chicago and lose. So Chicago's the first winner I pick. The second game is the LA Rams are going to go travel to Philly to play the Eagles. It's a 1-0 team versus an 0-1 team. Philly got shocked last week by the the Redskins. Redskins had a great defensive front, probably the scariest one in football. The Rams, they beat Dallas in a low-scoring game, honestly, and Jalen sold the shit out of that last play. So Dallas should have actually gotten an opportunity to go into overtime or win the game, but they're lucky they won that game because that offensive pass interference call, which was BS. There was a lot of that crap last week, and I hope it's not going to do the same thing this week. But I'm going to pick Philly to get their shit together. They're playing at home. I'm going to pick them to win and beat the Rams, and them both be 1-1 at the end of the day. Atlanta's playing Dallas. This is probably going to be a shootout type game. Dallas lost a lot of key pieces on defense last week, and they lost their tight end for the season. Atlanta obviously still got Julio, and they were in that game for a while against Seattle last week. I was going to pick Dallas. I'll still pick Dallas. They're playing at home. I was going to almost change my mind and pick Atlanta as the upset, but I'm going to go with Dallas. The next game, I got Christian McCaffrey playing in my fantasy. He's going to get his points, obviously. Carolina, is 0-1 versus Tampa, who's 0-1, who lost to the Saints last week. Tom Brady's playing down at, it's his first home game in Tampa. The weather's probably going to be shitty. And it's just which team's going to grit it out in the weather better. Godwin's not playing. I do think Brady still is going to, win the game. I think they're going to win. I have Brady in my fantasy, but I'm thinking about changing him just because of the weather. But, he's good in snow, but why can't he be good in rain, But yeah, I'm going to pick Tampa to win that game. San Fran at New York Jets. There's only one thing to say, and the 49ers got stunned last week by Arizona, but they get over that and they probably destroy the Jets today. Unless they're horrible. If they're horrible, we can tell a lot about if they have a hangover from the Super Bowl if they let the Jets beat them. But George Kittle's out, so I expect Jimmy G to get some yards and a lot of running today versus the Jets. Denver at Pittsburgh. Denver showed up versus Tennessee. They almost were in the game. They almost won the game because Gostkowski kept missing those field goals. And he didn't conserve time, the coach, to give him a chance to win Monday night, but they were expecting that, Gostkowski was going to miss the chip shot to beat him because he had already missed some and they blocked, you can't fault him for that because, he was not doing that good, so it was just a luck. It could have went either way. Drew Lock's been playing good. If Denver upsets Pittsburgh, I really think that Drew Lock is going to be a quarterback of the future. Roethlisberger looked good last week, but it's at Pittsburgh. I'm pretty sure, Pittsburgh's going to dominate that game. I'm going with Pittsburgh. Jacksonville at Tennessee. Last year, it was a Thursday night game, and Gardner Minshew, second week of the season, came out and blew up Tennessee. They know what he is now. They know how he is. They're not playing in Jacksonville in this crappy weather, but they are playing in Nashville. Honestly, this is going to be a close one. A lot of people are picking Tennessee to win. I was picking Tennessee as well, but I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to pick my hometown. I'm going to pick the Jaguars to win today and go 2-0 and surprise everybody. Detroit and Green Bay. I was going to pick Detroit as an upset, but I just think Green Bay is too much. I'm just picking Green Bay. That's all I got to say. It's in Lambeau. Buffalo at Miami. Buffalo looked good last week versus the Jets here and there. They finally got it going. I just think their defense is too good for Ryan Fitzmagic. Although, we could see Tua maybe possibly coming in today if Fitzpatrick sucks. There could be a Tua sighting today. And then you never know. But Miami, the weather's going to be horrible, and I just think Buffalo has a better run game. Minnesota and Indy, both 0-1 teams. My Vikings, they sucked last week. They let Green Bay off the hook. Indy let Jaguars come back and beat them at the end. And I just think that Phillip Rivers is probably going to shine in this game. It's a win-win. Losing 2 games doesn't mean you're out of the playoffs, but especially in that division. If Minnesota really needs to win this because the division they're in, because Indy can always catch up in their division, because one of the teams could tank or whatever. I'm going to go with my Vikings to win this one and Phillip Rivers to go 0-2 as Indy's quarterback on a late field goal loss or something like that. The 4 p.m. games, we have Washington's football team, it's not the Redskins no more, versus Arizona Cardinals, a battle of 1-0 teams. So one of them teams is going to be 2-0 for the first time in a long time, unless we get a tie. Could that happen? Yes, fate could make them not be that good. No, I'm just kidding. Arizona, and that's going to be a good game. Washington has a great defensive front. Arizona has some good young receivers, a great quarterback. They're both young quarterbacks. You know what? I want Arizona to win and go 2-0. I want Fitzgerald to finally get in the playoffs his last season. If he retires or whatever, I want him to at least get in the playoffs and have a meaningful run, or at least try to do something with that team. They could get momentum. But their defensive front is just scary. But it's in the desert. I'm going to pick Arizona, win by a field goal at the end. Close game. Baltimore at Houston. Lamar Jackson is probably going to just be too much for Houston. Their defense stinks. Bill O'Brien hasn't, figured out what they want to do. Houston could upset them, but I don't think it. I'm going to pick Baltimore. Kansas City at the Chargers. A lot of people are counting the Chargers out. Their defense is out. Kansas City's scary. I'm going to go with the Chargers as an upset. And I don't know why. I just think that if it's a shootout, that's cool. But Tyrod Taylor needs to make some big throws. Or they're going to put Herbert in and let him show up and let him do it with Mahomes. And see what goes on. See what happens there. But I'm going to pick the Chargers to win by a field goal at the end. Or a score at the end. Or something. Tonight's game, obviously, like I said, was my Patriots versus at Seattle Seahawks. Cam Newton versus Russell. Everybody's picking Seattle as a favorite. They're the favorite. So I'm going to go with my Pats. Till they lose, I really don't want to go against them. So I'll go with my Patriots. Seattle could come out and blow them out. You never know, because we got them versus Miami last week, and Miami is a soft team, so I don't know. Wait till I see them versus like some good competition like tonight, then that's different. Tomorrow's game is New Orleans Saints at the Las Vegas Raiders. Battle of 1-0 teams. One of these teams is going to be 2-0. Everybody's picking the New Orleans Saints to go undefeated. I'm not undefeated, but have a great record. They about winning this game. You're playing in Vegas in that new stadium too. Oh my gosh! You know what? Michael Thomas is out. They're missing a couple key pieces. I'm gonna go with Vegas as an upset. I'm gonna pick the Raiders to win this one as an upset. They're the home team, but I'm gonna pick them as the upset. They're going to get that big primetime win, and then people are going to talk about them, and then they're going to tank. But Josh Jacobs is probably going to get a lot of yards, and he's going to look really good. But yeah, that's my picks for today's Week 2 NFL matchups. Like, subscribe, comment, and let me know what you think about the picks, what your picks are, and I'll see you in the next video. I should be doing a rip video maybe sometime. A couple hours from now that I can post later on today or tomorrow. But yeah, like I said, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day and enjoy some football.